All right, it is Fire Up Friday. Now, look, we all have goals that we want to reach. We all have things that we're aiming for. Tomorrow, Eric Lawfolm, I'm sorry, not tomorrow, in like an hour, Eric Lawfolm is doing a webinar, and he's going to be talking about sprinting from now until the end of the year. And if you have never done a sprint with Eric Lawfolm, you want to make sure that you're on this one because man, is it fun. And he pushes you. He takes you to a level that you didn't think possible. He might ask you to do things that are a little outside your comfort zone. And you know why he's doing that? He's doing that because he knows that you can do better. He knows that you can do just a little bit more than what you've been accustomed to doing. So the purpose of those sprints is to take you from where you are now to the next level in your journey. So if you have not already signed up to check out what he's doing on the Sprint webinar, I'll post a link inside of the Sales Tips for Smart People Facebook group so that you can check that out. Speaking of the Sales Tips for Smart People Facebook group, I want to invite you to join me. I'm actually live right now in the Sales Tips for Smart People Facebook group. You can comment on that live video that you are watching live. If you're hearing this right now and you're listening to a replay, I'm so glad that you're here as well. Please comment replay. So now let's talk about goals. I've been thinking a lot about goals, specifically about my daily habits and how it relates to my health. Now, the goals that are keeping me from reaching my potential are specifically my lack of self-control, right? So I have a problem specifically late at night, not going in and wanting to eat food and doing things like that. So I've been thinking about my daily habits and how I can set myself up for success. That same sort of thinking also applies to what we're doing when it comes to just our business and our daily habits for that. There's a lot of things that we do that are uncomfortable until they become comfortable. Things like prospecting, things like going live on Facebook and putting yourself out there. That's uncomfortable until you've done it so much that it becomes comfortable. And that's one of the things that I would encourage you to do is analyze your daily habits and figure out, what am I not doing simply because it's uncomfortable? I remember back when I was, in my younger years, and I was really, really athletic. I was a competitive swimmer. I had the opportunity to swim at the Rose Bowl year after year and compete with the top kids in my age group, and it was a blast. But I'll tell you what, the practice stunk. There was a lot of days where I just didn't want to do it, but I knew where I wanted to go. I knew I wanted to go to the Rose Bowl and compete with the best of the best. And so I pushed myself, and every single day I would swim so that I could meet the goals that I had set for myself. Now we're in business together, right? We're all doing this thing. We all have our own goals and our own aspirations that we're reaching for. And what is keeping us from reaching our highest potential? It's our daily habits. It's what we do day in and day out. It's the consistency that we bring not only to our workplace, but also to our clients. Now, let me dive in and talk about when it comes to our not only our habits, but also our goals. A lot of times our goals are not being met specifically when it comes to sales. We're on a call right now for Sales Tips for Smart People. This is hosted by Eric Lawfolm. He's a sales trainer, so I'm going to take a slight curve and talk about sales. A lot of times our problem is our sales presentation. So our sales presentation, if you have not yet gone through and scripted how you present the product that you're selling or the service that you're offering, if you have not sat down with the coach from Eric Lawfolm's Peeps and figured out exactly how to address those pain points, then I highly recommend that you do it. But there's a cost to not doing it. There's a cost to not getting it right. And it's a cost that we don't see in our bank account. Like, we don't see money in our bank account and then leaving. It's an opportunity cost. And when this was presented to me, I'm not sure if it was Eric, but it was definitely one of the thought leaders that I follow. It really hit home. And let me give you some numbers. So look, what I want you to do is write down, or just think about it, right? Like, write down, what is your average monthly income over the past 12 months? What is your average monthly income over the past 12 months? Then write down what you want your average monthly income to be, right? So for example, if you're listening to this call and your average monthly income right now is $5,000, right? And you want it to be 15,000, then your opportunity cost of not getting to where you want it to be is $10,000 a month. And you know you can get to $15,000 a month. You just don't know exactly. You may not know why you're not there, or you know exactly why you're not there, and it's because you need to change what you're doing. Now, that opportunity cost is not only $10,000 a month, but that goes on for as long as you don't fix the problem, right? If you are staying in this place where you're stuck and you're not getting to where you know you need to be, that $10,000 a month multiplies over a year. As you achieve that goal, other goals are now in sight. You were able to have new opportunities. So what are you missing out on? You're missing out on not just hitting that goal that you've set in front of you, but you're also missing out on things that you don't even know could be in front of you once you get to that new level of success. So that is one of the things that really hit me, because I knew that I wasn't reaching where I could be. I knew I wasn't, but I also was okay being where I was. I'm like, I'm good here, right? I'm okay with where I'm at. I don't want to try to go to the next level until somebody presented me with the opportunity cost. And it woke me up. I said, man, I've got to get off my butt and get to work. And so that's what we're doing now, right? That's what we should be doing. That's why the sprint and things like that are so important. So I'm the marketing coach on the calls. I want to take a quick dive now. I want to talk about marketing. Specifically, I want to talk about how to write good copy. Now, one of the people that I'm training with right now is a guy named Ray Edwards. He wrote a book called How to Write Copy That Sells. And I'm going to give you a link to that book if you go to alexbranning.com/fire, alexbranning.com/fire. You can get a link to that book there. And one of the things that happened when I started working with him, he's a masterful copywriter. I mean, he is so good. And my passive sales started to go up quite a bit just based on me following his tips, right? It's like, so I have active sales. That's the sales where I'm on the phone selling somebody and getting them to take action, either with me or with a product that I have, right? Then I have passive sales. Those passive sales are revenue that I'm generating from people finding my ad and then reading my sales page or reading my emails that I send out and then taking action, either buying my product or an affiliate opportunity that I'm presenting. So that's the differentiator. Active sales have and always have been really, really strong. Passive sales, wish they could be better, but they're really, really good right now. And that is what I'm investing in, increasing my passive revenue. And so I hired Ray Edwards to teach me, bought his stuff, went all in, right? And I'm seeing a really big increase in my passive sales last month. My passive sales got almost about $5,000 last month. So it was really, really good. And it would not have been there if it wasn't for Ray Edwards. So one of the things that Ray teaches, I want to share with you briefly. You can dig into this in his book. It's like $12 on Amazon. So it's great. It's a good value. Go grab a link, alexbranding.com/fire. It's called the PASTOR Copywriting Framework, PASTOR. I'm going to break this down for you real quick. The P is addressing the person, their problem, and the pain that they feel. So right now, let's just use this as an example. If I was going to address this to a salesperson, I would say, hey, I know that you're in sales and your problem is you're not generating enough leads, and that pain point is the discomfort and the anxiety of not having enough people in your pipeline to meet your goals. Right? Then the A in PASTOR is for amplify. You want to amplify the problem. And so in this example, I would say, if you don't start fixing the problem and generating more leads, then you're not going to be sleeping easier at night. Your pipeline's not going to be filled, and those goals will not be met. You won't see a change unless you make a change. Does that make sense? S, story and solution. So now you want to present a story and your solution of how you fix the problem. So I could share a story about how I'm working with a guy named Alton down in LA. He reached out to me for a very similar thing. He said, man, it's just not working. last month he held this big meetup, and he only had 3 people attend because his marketing wasn't on point. He hired me and my team to do it, and the room was literally filled to over capacity, and he's selling some high-ticket coaching items. So just by hiring me to fill the room, he has literally changed his own business and, in effect, changed his life, because now he has the leads to give him the lifestyle that he wants. So that's the S in PASTOR. And then T. In the T section of your presentation, you talk about the transformation and the testimony of what will happen. Let them visualize what it will be like when they hire you for your product or service. And then O, the O, you describe exactly what you're offering for sale to a T. Let them know exactly what you're doing. Build up a good offer so they know that they're going to be taken care of, and they'll be able to implement or use what you're selling. And then the R in Pastor is the response. Tell them exactly what the response is that you want them to take. Is it call me now, set up an appointment, click this link, fill out the form below? What is it? So that is the Pastor, PASTOR framework. Ray uses that in his sales letters and emails. I have also started to use that in my webinars. And I'll tell you what, the products or services that I'm selling haven't changed between 2 months ago to now. Only the way that I'm communicating how they will benefit my prospect has changed, and I'm seeing a growth in sales. Again, it's not that my product or service has changed. I'm communicating how it will help them better. So I got a surprise for you. I don't know if you can see this, but check this out. If you're live in the Facebook group, we got a Fire Up Friday shirt, and I want to send you one. So if you go to alexbranding.com/fire, you can get your very own Fire Up Friday shirt. You can tell me the size. We got men and women's, small all the way to XXX. And you can get your very own Fire Up Friday shirt to wear around the office, around your house, wherever you want to work. So how cool is that, right? Bam! Fire Up Fridays. So my wife is doing it at cost. She's amazing. She has her own store where she makes custom t-shirts. So if you decide to get one, the price that you see is going to be not only the shirt, but also her, and she's going to ship it out, the whole thing. So go grab your Fire Up Friday shirt, alexbranding.com/fire. And I got an extra bonus in there if you want it. I will also send you my planner when we ship out the shirt. I'm pointing to my planners like you can see it. But when we ship the shirt, I'll also ship you one of my planners. Just pay for the shipping for that. It's on me. I just want to see you succeed in the month of July. So thank you so much for joining us here on the Fire Up Fridays phone call.